Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ambassadors of Gaming channel. I'm Ambassador Michael and today I wanted to discuss a little bit about the recent addition to Game Pass, second Extinction dinosaur shooter. I wanted to speak about it because it was one of the games I was really interested in. It was the first game that I was really looking forward to, that I kind of thought was going to be a bigger deal for Xbox in terms of what it could do, because we haven't really seen many dinosaur related games in recent years, and I know a couple of people within Ambassadors have been fairly excited for something dinosaur related. So I thought I'd give it a chance, check it out, and I went in a little blind other than seeing trailers a couple of times, maybe like the first time it was shown off. So I wasn't too familiar with what was going on or what would be happening. So I guess we'll start with the mission structure because I think it's something that's interesting and unique about this game. So it kind of launches you into this big-ish map, and each mission you drop in and you can do these side objectives, or you can go and just do your main objectives. You have multiple main objectives usually throughout the time in the map, so you can take your time to do those, and while you're on the way you can also stop to do many of the other side activities such as shooting down drones, collecting data. There's a lot of these missions like the one that you just saw where you call down a pod and you collect an item off of it, you strap some stuff on or you pick some stuff up, and that's pretty much it. So you either attach things to a cargo crate and it ships off, or there's an egg mission which is very similar. You pick up the crate, you go pick up some eggs, you put the crate back in. Once you fill up 2 crates, it ships itself off, and bada bing, bada boom, you're done. So I think the side objectives are fine. I think they're good mainly for the fact that it gives you experience. And as you're seeing here on the right, that number slowly going up is research, which is what you primarily need to upgrade a lot of your weapons to make them better, get to increase the stats, all that type of stuff. And I felt like each time I did a mission and I came back, I came away with a fairly decent amount of research. But granted, each mission I usually spent 20-30 minutes on, because we would do the main objectives and we would do a couple of the side objectives as well as we came across them, more or less, and maybe 1 or 2 on the way back after we completed our main objectives. So I think that was like the main differentiator, is the map size and this research component, in comparison to what we typically see, which is like XP or these specific like parts or something, maybe gun parts from breaking guns down or something like that. There's no like custom loot. The loot's pretty much there. Well, there is no loot other than skins, which I think is fine. Everything's more or less preordained. You can kind of customize and mix and match each class with different pieces of weaponry and equipment. This character class that I'm playing as now allows 2 primary weapons, where pretty much every other class has to deal with 1. So you can get 1 primary weapon and then you have a pistol. But I chose to opt for this character class, and I'm using the assault rifle and the scout rifle. Basically your standard assault and your standard sniper. The bullet physics are a bit strange for the sniper, but they're overall not terrible. The assault I think feels really, really good. So overall I think the gunplay is fairly decent and a lot of fun. I don't use it much. I don't think you'll even see it in these clips, but there's this evade mechanic. When you're aiming down sights, you can press left, right, or back, and the jump button, which is either A or X, and you will kind of strafe off to the side with a little jump, which is kind of nice. It's nice for when the big creatures are coming at you. When the little ones come at you, it doesn't really do much. I pretty much spend my entire time strafing around and just walking in circles to avoid them hitting me, and focusing on the special enemies like the Electroraptor you saw there. They turn invisible, they can flash their I guess they're fins. I'm not really sure what to call them. the skin around their neck. They can flash those and blind you, which is kind of a pain in the ass. You have these spitters that will spit out venom and kind of make the area in which you are standing toxic. And then that raptor there is your pretty much standard raptor. So overall, I think the variety in enemies is not so bad, but I feel like they could maybe mix it up with the standard enemies a bit more. However, they are very quick, the raptors, and there are quite a lot of them. As you'll see in each section, they just kind of pile up and they just keep coming and coming and coming. And they come from different areas, which is nice. I guess maybe I'm just so used to playing games like Destiny and The Division when they kind of first came out that I'm fairly used to the spawn points. But here, because some of the dinosaurs can dig underground, they'll spawn and they'll dig underground, so you don't know exactly where they're going to come from, which is kind of cool and interesting. Regarding the crafting and the weapon upgrades, I mentioned research earlier, but I wanted to wait until we got to this part. You have shared loot when it comes to these crafting materials, which you also need to upgrade your weapons. Research is one component, but each weapon and each upgrade and each kind of part requires these different parts from the dinosaurs, which is fine. I think it kind of gives me a reason to go back and play some of these if I really want to. As of right now, I haven't really seen a reason to. It's fairly balanced, I feel like, regarding the way I level up, I upgrade, I play a mission. It seems fairly decent. I don't think I talked about the equipment, so I'll try to keep that short. On the left, you'll see that there is a grenade. In the middle, you will see there is a health item, and on the right is this item that we're looking at right now, which is the supply drop. You have an infinite amount of those drops on the right. They can vary depending on what you would choose. I prefer to have ammo, but you can also have one to refill your equipment, which will drop these blue suitcases instead of the green, and they will give you grenades, whichever grenade you have selected for that class, and your health items. The grenades, I think there's only 3 types as of now that I've unlocked. There's the electro grenades, which I have, the standard grenade, and these type of bouncer grenades. I haven't tried them yet, but I'm going to assume they are either going to be the bouncing type of grenades where you throw them and they bounce off once or twice, or it's going to be the type where it's kind of like a bouncing Betty, where you set it down and it kind of pops up and explodes. I haven't really got a chance to try them, but I would assume it would be the former versus the latter, because everything so far with grenades has been a pretty much standard. You just pull them out, you throw them, and that's it. And they explode pretty much on impact. So skills, I don't think I talked about, so I'll try to keep those short and sweet as well. This character that I chose, the passive, is to equip 2 guns. The one on the left, the left bumper, is this jump. It's basically just a better version of the jump than the standard jump that you have. And in the middle, you will see the ultimate, and that just increases movement speed, reduces recoil and stability, and I think it increases your damage a little bit for this character. I also tried a different character class, which is a more like a hunter type class, and his passive was that when he crouches, he becomes invisible, more or less, to the dinosaurs. Basically his scent is hidden, and so he's more difficult to find, which is great if you want to post up and be a sniper. However, I found it was not really suitable to my gameplay style for this game, because there's not many areas where I found where I can kind of post up with a sniper and hang back and not be near my teammates, and kind of get these good shots on the dinosaurs. His left bumper is like a type of C4. It's an explosive, but it doesn't have a trigger. So when you plant it, you have to manually shoot it, or your teammates have to shoot it for it to explode. And then his ultimate is more or less the same as his passive. However, it also enables your teammates to get the sort of invisibility, but I also found it to be kind of difficult to deal with randoms, because if you're not communicating that you're going to use that ability, the second they fire a bullet, which will likely be while you're activating the ability, it will go away, and then you will pretty much have wasted the ability. So that's a bit frustrating, but overall I think the classes offer some interesting things, and I think if I played maybe with my friends versus teams of randoms, I would have a bit more of an enjoyable experience when it comes to the types of classes. However, I did enjoy my time with random teammates, and I thought that it was pretty well balanced and a good amount of fun. However, as you can see, I was having some issues with my internet connection while I was recording this, so that was a bit unfortunate. But it wasn't, I don't think, the game's fault, though you will run into some technical glitches and some visual glitches, missing parts, dinosaurs, animations being wonky, that kind of stuff. Overall, though, I thought Second Extinction was a fairly decent game to try out and check out. And if you have Game Pass, I think it's worth a while to download it and give it a shot. However, it is $30 to purchase on Xbox for Xbox One and Series S and X. It's also available on PC and Steam. I assume the price is similar or comparable to the $30 on Xbox. And that's pretty much it for me for this one. So I'd love to know what you think about Second Extinction, if you've tried it, if you played it, what you think after you've seen the video. And yeah, any way we can engage would be greatly appreciated. Of course, liking, subscribing, sharing the video. All of those things are very, very helpful. I know it's really boring and everybody tells you to do it, but it really, really does help in ways that you cannot imagine. So I'd appreciate it if you did that. And I look forward to speaking with you in the comments, which is not something you typically say on YouTube. So I will see you all in the next one and down there in the comments. Bye.